Hey guys, welcome to Whiskey, Lead, and Steel, Feelings Hurt While You Wait, the official podcast of Aggressive Defensive Solutions. I'm Lee Curling, and with me today is Jeremy Phillips and Rick Sutton on the end, being a smartass. And today we're going to talk about what you should expect
To get
as a
when-
student.
Man, they're harsh, aren't they? What you should expect to get out of a class as a student. And also, on the flip side of that, briefly, as an instructor, what should you expect students to bring to the class? And not physically bring, but physically and intellectually to the class. So Rick, you want to kick us off real quick?
So and we'll start at the front end of this. So as an instructor, if I'm teaching a class, what I expect the students or whoever's taking the class to bring in, first and foremost, I expect them to bring a good attitude, a willingness and a desire to learn, and the willingness and desire to try new stuff. We say all the time, there's 1,000,001 ways to skin a cat. As long as there's no skin on the cat at the end of the day, that's what counts. Give everything a try. If you come in, you go, I think that's a weird way to do it. Give it a shot. You might find that you need a left-handed monkey wrench in the bottom of your toolbox sometime. So an open mind about what's going on, and then the willingness to ask questions and seek clarification. If you come to me and you take a class and I'm using language that you don't understand and you just stand there with your eyes wide, at the end of the day, if you didn't have the forethought to ask, hey, could you clarify that for me, then I've failed you as an instructor because you failed me as a student, really. So good attitude, willingness to learn. If it's something that we're teaching, then it probably involves some physicality. So I need you to bring your physical capabilities to the game. Be hydrated, be rested, be ready to go. And then, that at the end of it, if you bring just that, you'll probably maximize the effect of coming to the class. So Jeremy, as a student, because you just took a class here recently, what is it that you as a student, and of course it worked out well because you're an instructor, what do you expect the instructor to give you at a lesson? What do you expect them to bring?
So at the very start of it, looking back, a course is a contract between an organization and a person.
Yep.
That person, for what we do, is seeking out knowledge, so I'd like to know what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
Before I give you my hard-earned money and my time, I'd like to know what I'm paying for.
Yeah.
Generic terms of Carbine 101. Okay, your Carbine 101, your Carbine 101, mine might be different.
Yeah.
So give me some more detail. Give me a syllabus. Hey, we're going to go over these things. I don't need to know all of it because if I know all of it, I'm not going to come pay and take the course.
Sure.
But hey, we're going to go over fundamentals of marksmanship. We're going to go over basic operations. We're going to go over likely scenarios, things like that. Okay, tell me what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
But then, when I show up to the course, and as long as I show up with everything you tell me to, and, I expect some interaction.
Yeah.
Okay, at the end of the day, again, I gave you 8, 16, 24 hours of my time, and multiple hundreds of dollars, plus multiple hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Did I get better? These things that you told me I was going to learn. Did I learn them? Did I get better at them? Did I walk away with a appreciation for this, or did I walk away saying, I need to do this more. I need to take what I learned today to my local range and do this. I need to seek out one-on-one training because I thought I was ready and I wasn't. So an expectation at the start of the day. Let's follow it. Let's plan our dive and dive our plan. Let's follow the syllabus. Let's explain it, demonstrate it, because if you're trying to teach me to do it, I expect you as the instructor can do it. And then at the end of the day, let's talk about why it's important, what we did, and how you can get better at it. So that's what I expect both as a student and as well as what I expect of me as an instructor.
Yeah.
And in my case, I did not get that.
That's a shame. That's absolutely a shame. Now, Lee, you obviously are an instructor as well, but as we all do here, you've taken some time here recently as well and been a student. and we're not going to throw anybody's company names out. If you want to
Nope.
know who we're talking about, you can give us a shout and we'll tell you offline. But so you seem to have had the opposite.
I had the opposite experience.
Yeah.
Right. And again, it was a very basic beginner level class that my wife and I, my wife wanted to go to, so we went. It was a great date evening thing.
Nice.
But I'm gonna add one more thing in there.
Okay.
For, as a student going in, or as an instructor, and as a student, I guess, depending on which way you look at it, is the student coming in should come in with a bit of humility.
Yeah.
Right. I mean that's I went into a very basic course. I have instructed courses that are much more advanced, but I went in not going, hey, look at me, I'm John Wick Jr.
Exact
Right.
same thing I did.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
The
I
degrees
think
are at the
that's
gate.
important. Right. One of the worst things as an instructor is somebody in the class that wants to play the as we euphemistically say, the stump the chump game. Right. Oh, look, I'm smarter than you are. I know more than you. And generally, it just becomes disruptive to the class.
Yep.
And
Absolutely.
and I think that does go into, as you say, you look at the course description. A good, detailed course description is important because, from a student perspective, because if I meet all of this, well, maybe I shouldn't go take that class. I mean, I went for a specific reason, but
Yeah.
I did get this is what you should expect out of the class. First thing, these are our goals, and these are the metrics that we're going to use to assess, and that's the successful completion of this course. And it was a short course. It was you went. It was a full day. This was a part day class. But again, few hours, great level of instruction. Even though I've been doing this for 30 some years, I got individualized feedback.
Yep.
Right. And, things that helped me with something I was struggling with. Right. Some of the changes I've had with a new optic, I got great feedback that was tailored towards me, even though I'm not what they were expecting out of the class.
Not who the class is designed for.
Not who the class was designed for. Right.
No.
So yeah, I mean, so I think that's I had a very different experience, but again, similar in that a kind of a level 1 class, an introductory class, towards a certain thing. So similar in that while yours was carbine and mine was handgun, you still have that introductory.
We
For
were not
level
the
one.
intended audience.
Right.
No.
But level 1, but the fact that you got no real individualized feedback, right, in a full day carbine class. I, in just a few hours of shooting, got fairly extensive feedback. You got no course description really at the beginning of the day, no syllabus of these are our objectives. That was the very first thing I got. And the very last thing we did, this is what we said. We went over these things. We met all of these. We met all of the objectives.
Yeah.
Did we miss anything?
No, and
Right. And that in the class. So.
And to your point, I guess the other thing, kind of what you talked about a little bit there, is hey, when you start a course, okay, hey, here's who we are as instructors. Here's our 30-second elevator speech. Tell me about yourself, student
Right.
number 1, student number 2, student number 3. Let me as an instructor know who my audience is, because if it's all people who have been competitive shooters for 15 years, or it's a department where the most junior guy in the room is 5 years on the force, my training is going to be different than, okay, a local church group where I have a mixture of 17 to 65.
Exactly right.
So I can better assist you as a student by training to what you need.
Understanding a student's background from an instructor standpoint, understanding a student's background definitely helps you tailor to them, both in your words and actions.
Absolutely.
Right? if you are a well-rounded instructor and you know that your background, your student's background is military, you can tailor terms to the military.
Absolutely.
Right. If they're a civilian shooter, maybe those terms don't. Maybe those terms aren't going to translate as well. So.
Because they may not have extensive military experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But again, part of that interaction between student and instructor is knowing both sides.
Mm-hmm. But this is the short version.
Yeah.
Up on
YouTube.
Thank you.
Words are hard today.
Words are hard today. But the long form is going to be on your favorite podcatcher. Check it out.
Strongly suggest you see it.
Deep dive, an hour and 10, 15 minutes in Jeremy's
Odyssey of
bullshit of stuff
at the end of the day.
Lots of feelings to be hurt there.
So, but I'm gonna conclude on one thing, right? That I think that the student should expect from the instructor, and that the instructor should be expected to deliver,
Mm-hmm.
and that's honesty.
Yep.
So you, as an instructor, need to provide the honest feedback to a student on how they've done and or progressed during the day. And it doesn't have to be harsh, you suck. Absolutely not. That's not feedback. That's just criticism, but honest feedback. And as a student, you should be going into a course expecting from an instructor to get honest feedback. And if you just get, hey, wow, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. This is awesome. You're wonderful. You're awesome. That's not honest feedback.
That's a fair job.
So
Give me $250 and I'll see you next week for the next class.
there you go. So, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check out the long form on Spotify. The link will be below, and we'll catch you next week.
Like and follow us. Be safe.
Hey guys, welcome to Whiskey, Lead, and Steel. Feelings Hurt While You Wait, the official podcast of Aggressive Defensive Solutions. I'm Lee Curling. With me tonight,
Words are difficult, especially when you get old and don't have enough caffeine in your system. Some people say I could go for a run and that'll make up for the caffeine. I don't particularly subscribe to that. Lee, what are your thoughts on trading caffeine for running?